This is the Blind Lemon Video Blog. I'm Terry Parsons, and I am joined by Monkeyjunk. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Terry.
So, we're backstage at the Dutch Basic Blues Festival. Your first
sure?
visit at Dutch, I think so. So, Tony, it must be like homecoming for you, because of course you played with Dutchie.
I played with Dutchie for about on and off for about a year and a half to 2 years. And I remember being a kid and having this records, you know. And Dutchie only knew about 3 licks, but he meant every one of them. And I remember being a kid and going, I'm going to hitchhike to Halifax. I guess he was living in Halifax, and I'm just going to annoy him until he gets me on stage, right? And then if I just play one song, I'll be happy, and then I'll hitchhike back. Well, I ended up recording a record with him on our current label, Sony Plain. It was on Sony Plain Records, and a record title, I'm Back. And it had people like Ben Richardson, who plays in a band called Grady, he used to play in the Phantoms, and Jerome Godbout, and Pat Rush, great guitar player from Johnny Winter, Jeff Arsenault. So those were the guys on the record, and myself playing guitar. So, I mean, my dream came, it was, even more. It was even more beyond my dream, which was just to get up and play one song with the guy. Yeah. And I ended up becoming his guitar player, and then playing and recording the record with him, which was, wow. What can you say, right?
Speaking of great recordings, Monkeyjunk's To Behold won the Juno a couple of years ago. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Thanks.
Were you surprised? I mean, the nomination was cool, but winning, it must have been quite the stone groove.
It was pretty great. I mean, the bonus for us was that the Junos were held in our hometown, Ottawa, that year. So we, it was just a little bit sweeter winning it on home turf, and it was a great experience all around, and a great honor, of course. And we're very proud of that record, and very honored that we got some accolades.
Steve Mariner of Monkeyjunk actually played at the first Dutch Mason Blues Festival. So for you, it must be a little bit of a homecoming as well.
Yeah, man. About 10 years ago, I spent a lot of time out here playing with Garrett Mason and Dutchy before he passed away. So that first year, I was on tour with Harry Manx, and the lineup was Harry Manx, Garrett Mason, and Dutch Mason. And I played the whole night with all three of them. And I remember coming the next year, I was supposed to play with Dutch, like in his all-star Dutch band. Mm-hmm. And then he wasn't well enough to play that night, and then he passed away shortly after that. And then the year after that, I played here in Truro for the first time, and that's when they moved it to Truro in 2007. And I played with Sue Foley that year. Wow. So yeah, and you know, I've been looking forward for Monkeyjunk to come play this festival for a while, you know, and we got really well received today, so it felt great. It's really good to be here.
The latest album from Monkeyjunk is All Frequencies, and we're featuring some songs in the video blog recorded at the Dutch Mason Blues Festival from this album. Going into the studio to record this album, guys, did you have a plan? What did you want to do with All Frequencies?
I don't know, we just wanted to...
Why don't you just tell them the way we actually record?
Yeah, well, it's kind of funny. The way we tend to... Well, history has shown the way we make records is we get together and we just jam until we have like a musical progression, and then we record it, and we try and figure out some lyrics after, which takes some time sometimes.
So this album had a few more things that were solid going into the studio right away. I remember the second album, which was To Behold, which won the Juno. There was a lot of tunes. There was a few tunes in there where we just started playing in the studio. One of them is
Let Her
Down.
Yeah,
was like that. It turned out
That was all.
well, it was fantastic.
Spontaneous.
I mean, yeah, it was spontaneous. I think we did like 2 takes or something like that, and then we had the music down. But I mean, the lyrics weren't even around, right?
Yeah, no.
You know. So, and I remember Mother's Crying on that record was we were used to sing Robert Johnson. Like, there was an old progression. I used to kind of an arrangement, totally different arrangement, of course. So Steve just thought, you know, that's kind of cool. It's not like anything else. So then Steve wrote some lyrics for that, and so that's the way it sort of happens most of the time. But All Frequencies has a little bit more of preparation, I thought.
Yeah, we took more time writing the songs.
Yeah.
And the thing that was different about the other 2 recordings is, at least from my perspective, is that we kind of, with Tiger and To Behold, we were kind of like, we were pushing the boundaries a bit of what we might consider blues. Yeah, so for All Frequencies, we made a decision to not be bound by any kind of, you know, restrictions. We just wanted to make it as original as possible, regardless of people's idea of genre. We just wanted it to be a Monkeyjunk album, not Monkeyjunk does the blues or Monkeyjunk does rock and roll. It's just a Monkeyjunk album.
And it is the most original to date, I think, personally for me as well. I'm sure
I would agree, and I think it kind of most defines what our sound is. I think.
If the mood should strike, feel free to shake it. I see a lot of chairs, but you gotta get them stretched sometime, don't you? This is for all you fine ladies who parlez-vous. I just came from a shipwreck, smashed up on the rocks. I was looking for some answers. I found myself lost. I don't know how she got here. I don't know if she exists. But she got that certain something that I just can't resist. Ooh, 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 it's what she do. It's what she got. Je ne sais quoi. I say, hey, hey, hey. I can't explain just what she got. Je ne sais quoi. Gypsy eyes of thunder, skin of golden brown. A magnificent wonder, just a blooming all around. She must possess some magic, some trick or hidden charm. Cause the feeling was automatic when she took me in her arms. Ooh, 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 it's what she do, it's what she got. Just not say why. I say, hey, 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 I can't explain just what she got. Just not say why. It's what she do, it's what she got. Shall not say why. I don't know. I say, hey, hey, hey. I can't explain just what she got. Shall not say why. Shall can't do. Ooh, ooh, ooh. It's what she do, and it's what she got. Everybody say, just not say why. I don't know. Hey, hey, hey. I can't explain just what she's got. Just not say why. Yeah. Ooh, ooh, ooh. It's what she do, and it's what she got. Just not say why. Yeah. Hey, I can't explain just what she got. Now just not say why. I don't know. Thank you.
You know, we recorded our first record, Tiger in Your Tank, very soon after we got together, and it was great, and you know, it really kick-started our career as a band, and with To Behold, I think we continued to kind of find our way, and it was more contemporary than Tiger in Your Tank, but All Frequencies is the record that I think really defines what Monkeyjunk's sound is.
Totally.
It's been a steady progression, and I think we all agree that we've kind of arrived at what our sound kind of should be, and that there's several facets to that. I think songwriting, instrumental approach, the instrumentation, I should say, and you know, getting certain sounds in the studio, and just allowing ourselves to kind of let the music kind of flow through us. And
sonically, it's it has a lot of sort of, you can see how we got to this record, our latest, from the first two, but sonically we really expanded. And Steve and the engineer Ken Friesen, I mean, Steve produced the record along with, is Ken and the producer as well? Yes? Yeah. I should know these things. Sorry, Ken. And but you know, they really sonically, how they want things to sound, right down to like how they're gonna mic the drums, and right down to like, okay, you know, we want you to go through this little amp. And I mean, they put me through a movie projector, an old movie projector amplifier.
Wow.
So I don't even know, but I bet you half the solos came out of that little thing about this big. You know? So,
Wow.
yeah, no, really.
And this is recorded, I should just mention that this All Frequencies is recorded to 2-inch tape.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's on tape, and
So a very old school approach.
yeah, we actually, and in the studio we record at Signal Pass Studios in Almont, Ontario, just outside of Ottawa. Our man Ken Friesen there has got such a great collection of gear, and it's really the best of both worlds. He's got tons of great analog gear, and he's got all the latest digital gear, and the process in recording this record really used the best of both of those worlds.
Yeah.
And you know, it's we're very, very proud of it.
We're definitely modern when it comes to editing. It's like, man, you know, like, we weren't splicing tape or anything like that. It was like, I'll do it off the computer, slice, there we go.
One of the things that I've noticed about Monkeyjunk, with Tiger in Your Tank and with All Frequencies, is that both albums had some covers in it, and you guys take like a traditional song and you just give it such an amazing treatment. Like, for instance, from All Frequencies, something like Why Are People Like That? And the way that you approach that song, and you just breathe new life into it. Is it important for you guys as you know, modern artists, to be able to pay a little bit of respect, a little homage to the guys who came before?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when we got started, we didn't really have a plan. We just had the plan to show up at Irene's and play on Sunday nights. So our repertoire came together as we went. We just played whatever we kind of knew and just let each other, you know, I pick a tune, Tony pick a tune, you know. So we started out kind of doing all covers, really. And then we just whittled it down to stuff that, you know, artists like we've covered, you know, Willie Dixon, Magic Sam, Otis Rush. We did a Hank Williams song on To Behold. You know, Bobby Charles on the last one. So all artists that are part of the fabric of what we came up on, you know. But what I like about what we do with covers is that we try to make them as different as possible than the original. You know, we try and take the spirit, that thing about that original that draws you to it, but then put our own kind of identity on it. You know?
Thank you so much. Let's get messy together. Come on, let's get messy now. Control when I feel you moving it. You take my soul and make me pray for sin. I can't be still in your vicinity. Don't stop until we reach infinity. You're gonna break my will, can't take no more. Gonna make me spill on your hard world flow. You make a mess. Oh, you make a mess of me. You make a mess. Of me. Your love I crave, even if it's killing me. You're gonna break my will, I can't take no more. You're gonna make me spill on your hardwood floor.
said earlier, like when you listen to Mothers Crying, that's a perfect example of what Steve was talking about. I had a different arrangement for a Robert Johnson song that I used to do with my own band, and that's when he said we started doing it in Monkeyjunk because it sounded like kind of a Monkeyjunk thing, and it got heavier. Yeah. But the music is nothing like the Robert Johnson stuff, like nothing. Yeah. But we would just sing Robert Johnson lyrics, but that's the idea of like how we would take a cover and completely change it. It's usually musically, instrumentally, it's actually where things are different. Obviously, we're keeping the same lyrics if we're going to cover, right? But, exactly. Yeah, so that's where things change. So that was a perfect example. And of course, if you listen to Why Are People Like That, or Act Like That, or whatever it's called. And
Bobby Charles didn't have a wah-wah pedal in his day.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, but there's like... so it was just... That's another perfect example, right? Cover, but it's so sexy, though. Yeah, I gotta tell you, we were playing in Montreal. No, we were playing.
My toe shoot out my boot.
Well, it did. We were playing in Montreal, and we remember that time for the Lofton tribute or benefit we did, and so we started doing that, and it was a sweaty room in Montreal, and you couldn't pick a sweatier song. And we started like and like the crowd's just like. Slow motion sweat, yeah.
That was probably the best time we ever played it live, actually.
Yeah, ever since then, it's never got the same reaction.
Hey, that's a good album title. Slow motion sweat.
Slow motion sweaty. Slow motion sweat, you like that?
Stay tuned, 2015.
Slow motion sweat.
Slow motion sweat.
Yeah, that's
actually not bad.
Slow motion sweat is good, yeah. I like it.
We're at the 10th annual Dutch Mason Blues Festival. You guys performed Once Had Wings today, and it's something that I've never seen at Dutch. When you finished that song today, people got up out of their chairs and they gave you a standing ovation. It's the first time I've ever seen it at the Dutch Mason Blues Festival.
Cool.
And the reaction was amazing. And the one thing that's always impressed me about this song, and Steve, you and I talked about it yesterday when we were hanging out here, is the harmonica solo and just how much yearning and want and desire comes out of that harmonica solo. And you breathe so much life and emotion into that harp solo today that I saw people with tears in their eyes while they were listening to you perform
He's
that.
bleeding, man. No, I mean, the man's aching, he's bleeding, he's loving, he's repeating it, then he's bleeding, and he's loving, he's aching, he's repeating it. It's good, man. That's what he does. It's a bleeder.
You know what's interesting about that song? Sometimes for a shorter set, we don't like to play slow songs. We like to keep the tempo up and the energy up. And so we were actually, when we were going over the set list, Steve said, well, if we get down there and we're too short on time, we'll just cut Once Had Wings. And I remember thinking, like towards the end of the song, like pretty much right at the end of the song, and seeing the reaction that you're talking about, thinking, we can't cut this song. It's actually one of the songs we get the most feedback on. Yeah. And while we do like to keep our show high energy and up, and we don't, especially if it's a bit of a shorter set, I don't know, there's something about that song that really strikes people, and it's so great to hear that and be reminded that we did actually.
Well, it's my slide solo.
To get that
that's a good point, no, because no, but it's a good point. Like, you bring up a good point, and Tony's guitar solo and that, especially on the record, like, it's different every night. It's always great, but different, right? But the one part we captured on the record just also has that really emotional thing, It's an emotional song, and when we wrote this, we wrote it in my living room. Remember, we had to rehearse in my apartment, and we wrote it in the living room anyway. And it's got kind of this Appalachian kind of, mountain kind of old-timey sound at the beginning, but then it kind of has goes a bit into kind of Zeppelin land. But anyway, so we had no lyrics for it, and we were talking about it, and we tried a couple things, and so then we call up Paul Reddick.
Oh yeah.
And I basically said, Paul, death song, go. And he came back with that one day later.
Wow.
I changed a little bit of the chorus, but
Paul
he made some very nice contributions on that album.
Well,
he's a great writer.
It's a great song. It's a great album. It's Monkeyjunk's All Frequencies. Guys, thank you so much for taking the time with us. It has been a pleasure and an honor hanging out with you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man.
Lord, my days of you, watching the river run dry. I'm down, Lord, I know it's true, but I once had wings to fly. I once had a way to fly. Ain't no way to turn the time around. Ain't no reason why. The one I love, cold in the ground, but we once had ways to fly. We once had ways to fly. When I close my eyes, I see on the shore. When my time is done, we shall be as one, and together we will soar. I have seen, Lord, and I have known. I hold my head up high, but I'm sinking now, sinking like a stone. But I once had wings to fly. Oh, I once had a way to fly. When I close my eyes, I see her on the shore. When my time is gone, we shall be as one, and together we will soar. And together we will soar. And together we will soar. cry, but I once had wings to fly.